You're watching KSG News, where you get all the latest updates from across the globe to help you with your exam preparations. We begin with updates related to GS Paper 3. This is in connection with science and technology. Karnataka, which is home to India's first aerospace special economic zone, electronic city, and several IT parks, is now ready with India's first integrated machine tool park. The park, spread over 530 acres at Vasantanarasupura, about 90 kilometers from Bengaluru, is developed under the scheme of enhancement of competitiveness in Indian capital's goods sector, jointly by the state government and the Department of Heavy Industries, the Government of India. The Indian Machine Tools Manufacturers Association has provided technical assistance to the country's biggest machine tool park, which is ready for occupation. Both the state and central governments have set up a special purpose vehicle named Tumakuru Machine Tool Park to develop the new industrial cluster. It has 158 ready-to-build industrial plots of various dimensions. The park is fully developed with proper layout, concrete roads, footpath, drainage, electricity, water linkage, and even bus shelters. The Government of India has set an ambitious target of achieving $5 trillion economy by 2025, of which the manufacturing sector contribution will be around $1 trillion. The machine tool park was conceived about 8 years ago, and with the support of Department of Heavy Industries, the Government of India and Karnataka governments, the park has become a reality and is all set to play an important role in consolidating Karnataka's numero uno position in the manufacture of machine tools. Already, Karnataka is the third highest contributing state for heavy engineering in India. It accounts for 52% of India's total share in machine tool production and 62% of machine tool exports. In some more updates related to the GS Paper 3, Spectrum auction in India began on the 1st of March 2021 with 2,251.25 MHz radio waves valued at 3.92 trillion rupees up for bidding. The auction entails 7 frequency bands for mobile services: 700 MHz, 800 MHz, 900 MHz, 1800 MHz, 2100 MHz, 2300 MHz, and 2500 MHz bands is currently underway. The current auction does not include frequencies in 3300 to 3600 MHz bands that were identified for 5G services, which will happen later. Now, what does this mean? Successful bidders can pay entire bid amount in one go or exercise an option to pay a certain amount, like 25% for Spectrum 1 in 700 MHz, 800 MHz, 900 MHz bands, or 50% for Spectrum 1 in 1800, 2100, 2300, or 2500 MHz bands upfront, with the remaining amount in a maximum up to 16 EMIs after a moratorium of 2 years. Spectrum will be offered for assignment for a validity period of 20 years. Reliance Jio, Bharti Airtel, and Vodafone India had submitted a total earnest money deposit of 13,475 crore rupees for the Spectrum auctions. The Union government owns all the publicly available assets within the geographical boundaries of the country, which also includes airwaves. With the expansion in the number of cell phone, wireline telephone, and internet users, the need to provide more space for the signals arises from time to time. The spectrum waves, however, are also used by agencies such as the Indian Space Research Organization and defense systems for secure communication. Some of the companies also buy some spectrum for establishing secured communication between their various locations. The DoT thus mandates that all such new technologies which are being launched for commercial purposes give a notice period so that adequate arrangements can be made. And now moving on to GS Paper 2, this piece of news is in connection with international relations. India and the US reaffirmed their strategic partnership and efforts to strengthen multilateralism during a meeting between the UN envoys of the two democracies on the 28th of February, as Washington praised New Delhi for supplying critical COVID-19 vaccines across the world. US Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, held a series of bilateral meetings with the UN Security Council counterparts. India's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador T.S. Tirumurthy, said that during the meeting with Thomas-Greenfield, the two sides reaffirmed their strategic partnership. Beginning its 2-year tenure as a non-permanent member of the powerful 15-nation council in January, India had said it comes into the Security Council as the largest democracy in the world, representing 1/6 of the humanity, and with a strong commitment to reformed multilateralism, rule of law, fair and equitable international system, peace, security and development. Thomas Greenfield, who formally presented her credentials to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres last week, asserted that multilateralism is back and diplomacy is back and America is back and we are ready to get to work. India's efforts and contributions towards providing critical supplies of the COVID-19 vaccines around the world are being widely applauded, with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres hailing India for being a global leader in pandemic response efforts. India has provided coronavirus vaccines, critical medicines, diagnostic kits, ventilators and personal protective equipment to more than 150 countries. India has also announced a gift of 2 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses for UN peacekeepers, ensuring that it will be possible to administer the required double doses of COVID-19 vaccines to the 94,484 UN peacekeepers across the 12 missions. Under the initiative Vaccine Maitri, that translates to Vaccine Friendship, India is providing immunization doses to the world. India is a significant contributor to the International Vaccine Alliance (COVAX), and that it was also directly sending vaccines to friends and partners. In some more updates related to the GS Paper 2, Sagarmala Development Co Limited on the 1st of March said it has inked pacts for maritime projects worth Rs 11,870 crores with various public as well as private sector players. The projects pertain to development of product-specific warehouses, operationalization of specialized vessels such as roll-on, roll-off or the ro-ro, and coastal shipping vessels among the others. The pacts were signed on the eve of Maritime India Summit 2021, scheduled to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 2nd of March 2021. SDCL has signed 48 MOUs, which entails an investment of 11,870 crore rupees. The projects have a potential to generate direct employment for 1.68 lakh persons and indirect employment for 7.73 lakh persons. SDCL has signed MOUs in relation to the development of product-specific warehouses, operationalization of specialized vessels such as ro-ro, cruise, and to explore various investment opportunities available for the development of ports and maritime-related activities. According to SDCL, 24 companies have signed the MOU for the development of product-specific warehouse at various ports and alongside inland waterways, which entails an investment of 7,544 crore rupees with a direct employment potential of 1.6 lakh persons and indirect employment potential of 2.63 lakh persons. The companies which have signed the MOUs include Central Warehousing Corporation, Barma Lorry & Company, Hind Terminals Private Limited, NDR Infrastructure, Vopak India Private Limited and JM Baxi among others. Besides, 21 companies have signed the MOU to explore and operationalize the initiative for operationalization of specialized vessels on various identified routes. The second edition of the Maritime India Summit 2021 is being organized by the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways jointly with FICCI as industrial partner and EY as knowledge partner from March 2 to 4 through virtual mode. SDCL was incorporated by MOPSWs to assist in implementation of the ambitious Sagarmala program that aims development through port-led projects. That's it from our side in this edition. Stay tuned for more such videos to help with your exam preparations.